Welcome to the Silver Worker unit in PSM. This is the first unit of the first module on the Introduction to Silver Worker and Lifelong Learning in PSM. After a brief introduction in today's topic, we would like to discuss the changing competence requirements that employees in purchasing and supply management are facing, particularly as a result of the digitalization in the Industry 4.0. We will then look at some of the interview results from the project, which we conducted with purchasers and HR managers on the current state of vocational education in PSM. In the fourth chapter, we would explain how training should be designed and what requirements this entails. The fifth chapter focused on the differences in skills and preferred training, where we will discuss insights from the expertise survey. This is followed by a summary on the results. Many people are aware of demographic change, and we would like to begin by briefly focusing on the change in the age of employees in Germany and the EU. The light blue bar shows employees aged 55 to 64, who approximately 62% were still employed in 2012, as shown in the lower diagram, and 72% in 2021, representing an increase of around about 10%. An even stronger trend can be seen among employees in the age group across the EU as a whole. 47% are employed in 2012 and 60% in 2021. This clearly shows how silver workers are working longer and more often as they get older. Let's switch to the perspective from older employees to the children itself. The EU fertility rate is among the world's lowest. A 2.1 fertility rate is essential for generational continuity, yet in 2022, the EU rates stood at 1.46. This average, however, marks significant variations among EU nations. Northern countries like Ireland and Sweden have around 1.5 fertility rate in comparison to Greece, for example, or Poland, which have around 1.3 fertility rate, so around about 0.2 fertility rate lower. To sum up this introduction, we would have seen two clear trends in the population. On the one hand, more people are working at an older age, and on the other hand, there are fewer births and therefore fewer younger workers entering the labor market. This is leading to a war of talent in PSM, like we have shown on the left-hand side, which many people talked about in discussing the challenges in the finding younger employees. Due to this simultaneous digital transformation processes in procurement, which are changing the competence requirements, there is even increasing need to integrate silver workers into purchasing, as well as lifelong learning in order to ensure the long-term employability of all employees and to continuously involve them into the changing processes. For the following unit and learning materials in the project, we define silver workers as all employees who are 50 years of age or older and have permanent position in companies. Silver workers fall under the definition of baby boomers born between 1945 and 1965, as they are considered a significant cohort. Since this period saw a peak in birth rates, some researchers have included the birth years of baby boomers more precisely in their analysis. We will stick to the clear and simple definition above. Let's switch to the changing competence requirements that employees in purchasing and supply management are facing, particularly as a result of digitalization in Industry 4.0. Based on scientific analysis in the project start, especially 4 internal drivers motivate the need of training and development. First, let's have the skill specification and development. Organizations increasingly recognize the importance of clear defining the exact skills required for employees to perform their roles effectively. This means that training programs need to be tailored to meet precise job requirements. By focusing on specific competencies, companies can ensure that their workforce not only are capable, but also are confident in their abilities to excel their positions. Next, we have the organizational culture at the right top. A culture that values continuously learning and development, encourages that employees to engage actively in training programs. When skill enhancement becomes a constant priority in the organizations, it fosters an environment where employees feel motivated and supported in their professional growth. This kind of culture not only benefits individual team members but also enhance overall organizational performance. Moving on, let's talk about leadership and management initiatives. Leaders and managers play a crucial role when it comes to advocating for training programs. Their commitment to employees' development significantly influences the organizational training priorities. When leaders actively support learning opportunities, it sends a strong message that employees that their growth valued. This can lead increased loyalty and engagement across the board. Lastly, the organization must consider internal process involvement as a driving factor behind training demand. Organizations often seek a way to enhance efficiency by improving internal processes. To achieve this goal effectively, they must equip employees with the necessary skills through the targeted training initiatives. Investing in the employee development allows companies not only streamline operations but also drive better outcomes overall. We were able to identify four external factors that justify the need for training and further education. First, we have the technology advancements. The pace of technology change is accelerating, with new tools and systems emerging regularly. This rapid evolution necessitates ongoing training for employees to stay current and proficient. By investing in continuously learning opportunities related to technology, organizations can empower their workforce to leverage these advancements effectively and enhance productivity. Next up, market and industry trends. Staying competitive requires organizations to keep up with industry trends and market demands. As these trends evolve, there may be growing need for specific training programs tailored to address these specific areas of change. By adapting to shifts in the market landscapes, companies can ensure they remain relevant and responsive to customer needs. The third factor we will discuss is regularity and compliance requirements. Changes in regulations and compliance standards often create pressing need for employees' training. Organizations must ensure that their staff are aware and adheres to new legal requirements, otherwise they risk facing penalties or operational disruptions. Regular trainings on regularity updates helps to maintain compliance while fostering a culture of accountability within the organization. Lastly, let's consider customer expectations. In today's competitive marketplace, evolving customers' expectations and preferences can significantly impact on organizational success. To meet these demands effectively, there is often a need to targeted training aimed to improving service quality. By equipping employees with these skills need to understand and respond to client feedback, organizations can enhance customer satisfaction and loyalty.